Yes, so here is what the SLB had to say. Here is their response. The response is, how do you plan to continue operating without a BBF license? And it says here, this is their response to the BBFA. At the heart of the recent discussions with the BBF has been trying to make the BBF understand and acknowledge what their powers truly are. We have focused their attention on requirements in the FIBA regulations that govern the national governing bodies recognizes leagues. It's quite clear that the BBF seems to now accept that we don't need and have actually never needed a license in order to operate. It is noteworthy that BBF have claimed they had no knowledge of recognition and they needed SLB's advice on it, which we duly provided at a meeting with the BBF that the SLB instigated. So, good news is that we can absolutely operate without a BBF license. We are confident that BBF now understands that we meet requirements to be a FIBA recognized league, and as such are actively promoting the second SLB season for 25-26, and our clubs are already selling the season tickets and preparing for next year. So that's what we have for that, which is a good statement, so we can understand that the SLB possibly could be going on since 25-26 season. They talk about being a recognized league, and that FIBA basically has this term called recognized leagues, and how it is that they recognize leagues under a certain term. I don't know what the specifications are, but SLB is allowed to go ahead for the following season. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about SLB. I'm just going to talk about this license. If you guys really want to follow and hear the full story, I suggest you go to the actual BBFA Substack group and join up there as part of the fan association, or talk to Matt himself. I believe it's Brit Ball Basketball Daily. I'm going to try and add his links in the video. Up next, we're going to talk about the BBF and see what their responses were. So we have here, it says this is for the BBF and this is their responses. And the first question that was asked by the BBFA, British Basketball Fan Association, was what was the full process and timeline that led to awarding the license to GBBL. And it states here, it says see separate timeline, but it says we cannot share names and information that identify. Sorry, one sec, I'm just reading off it myself. So question 2 or question 1 part B, who was the independent panel that selected GBBL and what made them qualified for that decision? It says here, so this is the second question, we cannot share names or information that identifies individuals. Examples of the experience which qualified them to sit on the panel: head of legal major governing body, group general counsel, prominent in global tournament leading procurement, process and governance, chief financial officer, major international sporting series, member of the audit committee, UK government agency, a senior independent director, British Sporting Federation. The panel was a majority independent and it was chaired by the BBF's Finance Audit Risk Committee, and it was advised out by a top law firm with extensive knowledge and experience to a similar process. The second question was what were the selection and criteria and how were they weighted and scored. It goes here, technical including experience of operating in professional sports competitions, experience within basketball, relationship with key stakeholders, a viable plan, finance including deliverability, a business plan, source security, in terms of the license, integrity and compliance including independence in the boardroom, enforcement of owners and directors test for investors and shareholders, visibility of budgets and finance reports. And it says here, contribution to basketball including a approach to elite coaching pathways, demonstrate commitment to equality and inclusion in public accessibility basketball. Technical had the heaviest weighting, followed by financial, with 2 areas giving equal weighting. That's about it. Really, I'm not going to read too much into it. If you really want to find out what the BBF responded to, there's tons of questions on here about the why was the license given to the GBBL. So if you guys want to go and look at the responses from the BBF, you can. They touch on other things as well, but I'm just going to touch on that. And so we had that from the BBF. Now, what do I think about that? I'll tell you guys later on the video. Up next was the GBBL themselves. Yes, the BBFA, British Basketball Fan Association, literally sent out a letter to the GBBL, and I'm going to tell you one of the responses, guys, not all of it. So this is what the GBBL was asked, and this is what they had to say. They were asked, how will you create a league from scratch with no current teams or fan bases? And it says here, this is a reply from the GBBL. It is our vision that the GBBL will include a mix of current SLB and expansion clubs in markets that do not currently have top tier clubs. Of course, establishing new teams will take time. Expansion is a normal step for leagues to grow their audience across live events, digital and television. Good examples are Paris Basketball, who launched in 2018-19, placing 11th in the French Second League until they were promoted to Pro A in 2021, and 2022 qualified for the Euro Cup in 2022 to 2023 and qualified for EuroLeague in 2024 to 2025, where they were qualified for the playoffs in their first year, and now will have a multi-year position. A similar story with Basketball Club Dubai, which launched from scratch in the Adriatic League, now has a spot in the EuroLeague. Fan bases are nurtured to grow over time. The second question asked by the BBFA was, how do you intend to get facilities, teams and players placed by 2026 without SLB involvement? By our count, there are over 12 high quality arenas across Britain. We are engaging with major arena operators. We have a 15-month runway before our first season commences, which we and the arena operators believe to be sufficient. Okay, so that's what the GBBL has stated. So this is what they're saying is happening. If you guys want to see the full or read the full story, please go to the British Basketball Fan Association, and you could go on that by either messaging Britball Daily, which is British Basketball Daily. I'm going to try to leave this link in the YouTube video below, and you can either go onto the Substack and type in BBFA and read the open letter. So these are good points and good things that is touched on. Just points from each and every one of the major factors of the British basketball during this year, during this season. I want to touch on these are my opinions now about the whole thing. I do not like how the BBF acted in a sense of, awarding GBL the license. However, I do understand that they're probably looking for a more profitable solution. than the one with the SLB. Obviously, SLB right now, I'm going to be honest, it's not a profitable solution as of now, because they are looking to become a sustained profitable solution, which basically means they're building the foundations first to make sure that they're sustainable for a very, very long time, and not highly profitable, whereas the new league coming up is looking to be quite profitable quite quickly. One of the examples used by GBBL is Paris Basketball. I don't really know the difference, because it seems like Paris Basketball, to do something like that, you're going to need quite a lot of money thrown at you. And we already had that happen in 777, when we see the league literally boost in its performance with the videos and the studio work that was given to them, and all of that taken away in one fell swoop. So the SLB, in my opinion, has the right mindset. Create a sustained league that's going to last a hell of a long time, and not just a quick, quick thing. We want a league that's going to be there for the long run. Obviously, if you guys go on there, you'll see a lot of these BBF, even the GBBL, and obviously the SLB all talk about pathways and gateways for British players themselves to go to the main stage, because that's what it's really about. We can't forget why these questions are really asked. It's because we are looking for British players, homegrown British players, to be playing basketball on the top scene, and this is what we want to see. Don't get me wrong, I love the American international players who come to the UK and literally ball their hearts out, but if we want to get better as a country, as a nation, and if we want to get the notoriety that we need, we're going to have that local presence, and that local presence comes from British players. And obviously Hoopfix is doing a hell of a good job highlighting the British talent that is in and around the league, but most of the time those talent always go elsewhere, such as China or Asia, the Asian market, or they go into Europe, or they go into America, and rarely do they actually stay in the UK. And we need more teams to make sure that these players, these British talent, stays in the UK. So yeah, there's a lot more that is said. If you guys go through the article, and you'll see what was said and how the responses were and the questions from the fans. So I suggest you guys do that and check on it yourselves. And I'm going to leave some links in there for you guys to go and see what was said, and just go talk to Brit Basketball Daily and ask him how to join up. Alright, until next time guys, peace.